Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Could I get a roll tide inside the comment box? I appreciate you guys for joining me today. Today is Tuesday. It is April 29th. I appreciate you guys joining me today at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The weather has been prime here, I'm not going to lie. And thanks for hanging out. Yesterday I had internet issues. And, obviously the business runs off the internet. So important stuff to have. We got a video up yesterday, but it's not the same. We like to be here live. We like to be kicking it with you. And AT&T guy came over today and, got things going. So long story short, we're here. We're locked in. It's another week, and we close out, kind of get to the back end of April. We still have news that we're talking about. So today we're going to talk about two potential names to know. One, is a defensive back out of the transfer portal. I think he'd be coming here as a walk-on. I'm sure you guys have seen this as well. Delvin Gooley. We'll talk about him in a second. And then Xavier Corral, one of the top running backs in the class of 2026. It doesn't look like he's committing anymore on December 31st, which kind of leads me to believe that his commitment day is moving up. So we'll talk about that and more right here on Bama Football on YouTube. But how's everybody? Let me do some shout-outs. We haven't done some shout-outs today. And we're going to do we won't spin the pinwheel today, but we will get everybody lined up for the next hoodie. All right? Let's see who's here. All right, Alyssa, of course, I appreciate you being here. 5 Adam, what's up, man? Appreciate you. Max Tooney, always checking in. Chris Waltman, what's up? Chad Kennedy, I got you, man, for the hoodie. Thanks for hitting us up. Alabama Renegade, always here. Herman has perfect attendance, right? He'd be one of the top in class. We also got D Bama Swag. What's up? We got Alyssa one more time. We got Nicole checking in. Todd is here. Todd is saying taking back the state. Yeah, you get someone like Crow with the running back position with 2026 and, C.D. Morgan. I mean, those are huge wins within the state of Alabama. It didn't take Coach Kalen DeBoer. Look, last year was about laying down the tracks, but you get some big-time prospects. I'd certainly go a long way. Dan Caraway, what's up? Good to see you. Max Tooney, what's going on? Jeff, good to see you as well. I appreciate you being here. Ryan Harris, what's up, man? Good to see you. And Jay Boogie, what's up? I appreciate you guys. Chris from New Jersey, what's up, man? Appreciate you as well. All right. Here is the hoodie that we are raffling off today. So this is a men's or women's, I guess, black Alabama hoodie. It's got the, the USA patch, which we love. We like these here at Bama Football on YouTube. This is the only gear that we raffle away is the gear that I would personally wear. And, some people say I'm the king of hoodies. I don't know. I like the title, but I'm surely, who might be the king of hoodies is Alex. Alex was really, really hot in April, winning all those hoodies. So this is what we got today. To get into the raffle, couple ways. Venmo, Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. All right. Those are ways to get you in. And we'll do the pinwheel tomorrow for this particular hoodie. But I have Ruben Poole in. I got Patriot Life. I got Tide in Florida. I got Chad Kennedy. I got Joshua Johnson. So those are the people that I've checked in for this particular hoodie. So again, Bama YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. And if you're out there and you're like, well, the raffle's cool and stuff like that, but what are all the particulars? So to be transparent with you, as I always do, and this is pretty cool, last Friday, we were able to take a portion of the raffle proceeds that we've had. And it hasn't been a long time. I think we've only been doing this, I don't even know if it's been 2 weeks. But we're able to scrounge a little bit to take to the soup kitchen. So I plan to have these checks bigger as we go forward. And I know right now is our downtime kind of during the summertime. But it still is pretty cool to be able to give a little bit back to Tuscaloosa, right, in the soup kitchen. So here I am with the executive director. Her name is Miss Susan. We've known each other for some time. And at Tuscaloosa Soup Bowl, they serve about 300 meals, 330 a day. And I think this particular check fed I want to say 85 meals. So I'm taking a portion from the raffle and giving it back from Bama Football on YouTube, which is cool. And Dan Caraway, I got you in for the raffle. Appreciate it. And so we were able to, because I think it was our Wednesday or Thursday show. I don't know if the days run together. But we had so much generosity from you guys. We did 2 hoodie pulls. So Alex won one of the men's camouflage. And then the next day, it was Kill Tech who won. So Kill Tech, you still need to hit me up, man. I know Kill Tech's like a super contributor here. But Kill Tech, if you want to hit me up. And if you're part of the raffles and you win, this is my email right there. This is my old email from my old business. And I'll keep you guys posted. All right, and we got you in, Southern Red. So it was cool to chop it up. And I'll show this again here in a little while. No, in the raffle, no raffles have been done this week because we didn't have internet yesterday and no pinwheel today, but pinwheel tomorrow. I just want everybody to get checked in. Delvin Gully is a defensive back and certainly a name to know. Look, this isn't like a surprise maybe to us, here on Bama Football on YouTube, but I'm sure you guys, are members of recruiting sites, and there's a million different channels that talk Alabama football, which I recommend you all check out. But Ryan Williams actually reposted this, and Delvin Gully is a name to know, and he's in the transfer portal. Now, from my understanding, if he does decide to commit to Alabama, it'll be in a walk-on type situation, which is still fine. I mean, look, let me ask you some trivia real quick. Does anybody know a walk-on here that was an undrafted player in the NFL and was an absolute baller here? David, what's up? I see you inside the comment box. Who was a walk-on here who eventually started at corner? I'll give you a little clue. Started at corner for Alabama. Then he wasn't drafted, and then he became the starter in the NFL, right? So look, if you have it, you have it. And a lot of life, as we talk about, is about timing. So Delvin Gully, whether he comes in here as a walk-on to the secondary, who cares? The guy wants to compete. Let's see it. And Ryan Williams, he was a former teammate with Ryan Williams at Saraland, right? So Alabama A&M transfer, he visited yesterday, which was the 28th. And Nicole has got it. Yep, you're right, Nicole. Levi Wallace. The story of Levi Wallace is unbelievable. It's kind of unfortunate a name like that. We forget to hype up somebody like Levi Wallace, because when Levi Wallace came here, he was a walk-on. I think, wasn't he a walk-on here? Earned a scholarship, became a starter, was a damn good player here, and then went to the NFL, was undrafted, picked up by the Bills, and eventually started for the Bills, right? Do you remember this? Man, quality, super, super underrated player. But his story is really remarkable. And sometimes, you talk about the top 25 players for Alabama or whatever. Look, I don't know where Levi Wallace is, all that, but in terms of the heart and the dedication, the drive and the perseverance, probably one of Coach Saban's favorite players, just because when you got it in here, you got it. So Delvin Gully, certainly a name to know. I don't know. He could be, announcing that he's going to be coming to Alabama at any point in time. Stay locked onto your recruiting sites. Follow, the best in the business recruiting, like the Andrew Bones or the Greensburg of 24/7. There's a lot of great people out there. So keep your head on the swivel. And former teammates with Ryan Williams, and he was in town yesterday. This is also remarkable news. And as Todd said, kind of winning back the state. Well, what does that mean? Well, Coach Caitlin DeBoer, last year, I think was criticized for not landing as many prospects from the state of Alabama as people would like to see. And Xavier Crowell, who's an incredible running back, top running back here in the state of Alabama out of Jackson, reclassified from 2027 to 2026, was originally going to commit on December 31st. He announced today that he's no longer committing on December 31st. What does that mean? Well, he's probably going to commit earlier. And if you follow people in the recruiting space, they feel that Crowell is favored to come to Alabama. Now, I think Auburn fans, as they do, like to feel that he's coming to Auburn. I don't know. It seems like Alabama is certainly in the driver's seat. And we'll look at his highlights another time when we've played his highlights here from time to time. His highlights are unbelievable. So you look at the running back room next year. You're losing Jam, right, because graduation or the NFL. Richard Young and Daniel Hill will probably be the guys. A.K. Deere will be there. Kevin Riley. You're going to need a running back. So you add Xavier to the room. Yo, he's like 210 pounds. The guy's ferocious. So we'll see what happens. I have no idea if he's decided to, I don't think he has a decision date at this point in time. So we'll see what happens. But another name to watch. All right, Greg McElroy. I don't know if you guys saw this. I'll go full screen on it so you can see it a little closer. Greg McElroy recently announced his top 10 quarterbacks coming back in all of college football. There's not an Alabama quarterback here. Don't get upset. Let me ask you this straight up. You can say Ty if you want to, or Keelan Russell or Austin Mack. I don't care. But when you think about the quarterbacks coming back for the 2025 season, who are like the top 2 quarterbacks in your opinion? I guess on this list, I don't see Arch Manning. But honestly, who do you think are the 2 top quarterbacks returning to college football? I started thinking about this. I was like, okay, this is interesting. And look, lists are lists. They can be different types of lists. I don't care. I love a good list. Cloudy Box, what's up? Thanks for following. I appreciate you. Todd is saying sounding like a summer commitment for Crowell. Yeah, that's what kind of I was thinking as well. And Todd, you're in my mind, man, because Mateer and Sam Levitt, those guys are certainly good quarterbacks. I would probably go, man, I'm really high on this Mateer kid from Oklahoma. I'm not saying that Oklahoma's, who knows how good any of the teams are really. But John Mateer he's a baller. Watch his highlights at Washington State. The guy could slice up. Man, he was good. Cade is pretty good. He had a good Pro Football Focus grade. I know we go back and forth whether Pro Football Focus grades are good or not. I don't know. He did some things. I don't know if he's the number 1 quarterback coming back. Sam Levitt, really impressed with him last year. Garrett Nussmeier, it was a little bit underwhelming for me. Specifically in like big games, I don't know what it was. Carson Beck, interesting. I personally think that this guy, Lenora Sellers, I really like his game. I thought he was a really good quarterback. I probably have him higher than 7, I think. Some people high on Baylor's quarterback, Robertson. A lot of people really high on DJ Lagway. See, Alex, I'm kind of with you, bro. What's up? Good to see you inside the chat, too. And this, you know what? Haynes King down here, that he's quality too. That guy's he's a big dude. Remember against Florida State in last year's, the first game of the season? Remember against Georgia? Yo, the guy is very talented. So I don't know what a top 10 looks like at this point in time. See, 5 Adam likes Lagway. A lot of people like Lagway. I like Sellers. I guess if I had to go up this list real quick, I go Mateer and Sellers. That's probably my list. I don't know, Glenn. Glenn, let me put that on the screen. I don't know. I think maybe because LSU has had some above average quarterbacks. Obviously Joe Burrow was more than elite. One of the best college football quarterbacks. I was surprised to see no Arch Manning as well on this list. But I don't know why people are obsessed with Garrett Nussmeier. And that got in my head last year, even going to the game against Alabama. I was scared of him. I was like, oh, man, Alabama's going on, the road. This guy's going to slice up Alabama. Aaron Anderson is going to catch for 200 yards. He didn't do anything. Nothing. It was so underwhelming. I was like, Hey, Nico's not here from UCLA, right? And Chad's kind of pointing out, well, maybe Arch isn't on the list because he really hasn't done anything. I could see that. And then Saturday Down South recently put out its top 10 football rankings, or at least for the SEC. So this is how Saturday Down South has it. They published this one day ago. And they have it Texas, LSU, Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas, A&M, Bama, Florida, Oklahoma, Auburn, South Carolina. It's a hell of a list, okay? Now, I don't know if I agree with LSU be number 2. I would probably put Texas number 1 if I was voting in the SEC pre-poll. Georgia, I guess I'd go number 2, right? I don't know how good their quarterback's going to be. I'm definitely not putting LSU in my top 3. I don't even know if I'm putting Ole Miss in my top 4 or 5. You know what? I probably go Texas, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, and then Texas A&M. Oh, yeah, D. Brent. You know what? Diego Pavia, yeah. I like the competitive spirit, right, of Diego. So this is how I'd have it if I was doing this. I go Texas, Georgia, Bama. Who's your preseason top 3? Preseason top 3. Let's see, Alabama. I mean, you know what? Tennessee. I mean, they're not on here, I guess, because their quarterback. Who knows? Who's your top 3 in the SEC? Let's see. Alabama plays LSU, Georgia, Oklahoma, Auburn, and South Carolina. Yeah. Marcus asked a good question too. Let's put it on the screen. Let's put this on a tray. Have you guys seen this guy? He has a YouTube channel, and he does MREs. That's what he reads out. He does MREs. That's all he does. He does one a week, and they get probably 5 million views a video. They're 30 minutes long, but he puts all the MREs out. And super cool guy, super talented. I mean, it's pretty low key video, and then he's always notable to say, "Let's get this on a tray." Has anybody seen this guy, or is it just me? All right. Byron says Texas, Bama. See, people going Texas. Me too. Why are so many people up on Texas? This is what I'd have to say if I was answering you, Marcus. So we're just hanging out, bro, and we're chilling at St. Pete's Beach, bro. And you were like, man, why are you high on Texas, Kyle? I'd be like this. Steve Sarkisian, number 1. And number 2, I've bought into the Arch Manning hype. I read into it. It got into my brain. Jarvis pointed out that Isaiah Bond didn't get drafted. Yeah, that was crazy. You saw that he got pranked too. Those prank calls were sad. I mean, kind of the comedy of the social media was funny, but then it was actually, I didn't like it. I didn't like that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I'm a huge Sark guy, and Arch Manning. I don't know. I'm just believing the hype, I guess, at this point in time. But it's a good question, and I guess the third reason is, and I have to be honest, I think the last time that they came down to Tuscaloosa and they beat Alabama, I'm still kind of wounded from that. Those are kind of the reasons for me. But maybe the only one that really makes sense is Sarkisian, because we really don't know how good Arch Manning is going to be. And then the other thing is the game from the past is that's in the past. This is a completely different rebuilt team. I would imagine that Florida takes a step forward. Look, LSU is going to be good. Once again, Brian Kelly, they're going to be good. Georgia, they're going to be good, right? They lose a lot of defense, but they've kind of been a staple. Ole Miss, I do like this quarterback, Austin Simmons. I do have to admit, he's good. Year 2 of Mike Elko and year 2 of Coach Kalen DeBoer. All right. 2 quality coaches. Oklahoma, they got a good quarterback. And then Auburn has Jackson Arnold, right, who left from Oklahoma. And, of course, there's other teams in the SEC, but this is just like the top 10. And I was going to talk about this is the hoodie that we're raffling today. We'll do the pinwheel tomorrow. But if you want to get in, it's $10 Venmo, Bama_YouTube, or Cash App Bama YouTube. But I was thinking about this. I was like, I could have talked about like a couple topics today on the show that I didn't really even want to touch. Like one was like Kalen DeBoer says that Jalen Milroe, if he returned, people are going to transfer. Like, who cares? It's not happening. So like, why even like think about it? You see what I'm saying? Were guys going to transfer? Probably, but for all the guys to bounce out, Coach Kalen DeBoer said was a little far-fetched. I've also seen in the news like the stuff about, oh my goodness, like Bill Belichick and his girlfriend, right? Have you seen this? This is like absolutely crazy, but it's just like, I don't know. It's weird. That interview on CBS was strange. I don't know. That was just weird. So those were kind of some other, topics that are floating around college football. And I was just like, I don't know if I really want to like dive into that. The Chief 18 was going to bounce out. This is a great question. All right. Cause we're in that time where, what do we do with this and how does this player fit in? I still don't know. I don't know what you do with our boy Jalen Mbakwe. But clearly he's bought in, and I think Coach Kalen DeBoer has explained to him how they figure out, how to utilize him in some capacity this year. I would say special teams and, maybe some opportunities down the road at the receiver position, which he's clearly playing. But I think you put him at kick returner, punt returner, and you're like, hey, we see value in you immediately playing special teams. And when you play special teams, that does not mean that you're lower tier in any shape or form. Remember the Roydell Williams, he played special teams. Everybody plays special teams. You want to get on the field, play special teams. Look, Glenn is saying punt returner, kick returner, 100%. Plus, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, go be a gunner. Just because you're playing special teams doesn't mean that you're not good. It just means we're a little filled right now at our spots. Be a team. What we need an A+ kick returner. Be that guy. I think he can redshirt. Yeah, I think he can. I think he played in over 4 games or whatever. Daniel says put Lazier returning kicks. I could see that too. Glenn, if you beat me to it, I've been thinking about that too. And we talked about this, the last couple of days about Alabama having no guys to the transfer portal. I thought that was amazing. I thought there would be, honestly, like, and I did. I talked to someone close to the program, and I asked them, I was like, how many guys do you think will go into the portal? They texted me back 0. They were right. I thought there'd at least be like one guy, I don't know who, like 2, 3. I would have celebrated that as like a W. I didn't know the whole team would stay. And you pick up the 2 tight ends and, maybe this walk-on who's going to come in. And maybe some other guys trickling in, whatever. But as we've gone over roster management, during the month of April, you were strong specifically on defense. Offense, we need to see some guys step up at the 2D, but you're in a good position. So I love where we're at. going into the season, and that it was just a little bit shocking to me with the transfer portal. But as I said on my video, that's telling. It's telling about the culture, the buy-in, leadership. Where do you want to go as a team? Team in a world of identity, like in a world of like selfish identity, right? Team. You see the players. I posted a couple pictures of Ryan Williams and some other. I saw like Jan Miller at Talladega. Has anybody been to Talladega? Am I missing out? I have. I don't look. I've done a lot of things in life. I know, a little bit about this and that. You know my love for golf. I don't know anybody who knows. I have one friend who lives in Boston who does Formula One. Like he's into it. But in terms of like racing, am I missing out on Talladega? Do I need to go experience this? Like what? Like I was driving back, as I told you guys, from Atlanta to Tuscaloosa on Saturday afternoon. No, what was that? Sunday afternoon. I guess it was Sunday afternoon. It was Sunday afternoon. And I drove by the Speedway, which I've done before, and I've always seen it empty. But this particular time, like, you know how the tailgate, it was crazy. And the entire Speedway was completely filled. Am I missing? Should I dive in a little bit to Talladega? To NASCAR? I would like to check it out a little bit. I heard there's a documentary called Talladega that someone told me to watch. But it's crazy. I wouldn't know the first thing about NASCAR. Daniel's been there at least 10 times. Talladega is not what it used to be. Definitely missing out. That sucks. Well, I need to get on it then. Yeah, I just, I didn't grow up. I guess maybe it was where I grew up regionally, like in the Southwest. There's racing obviously out there. There's racing everywhere, but it's not like NASCAR. I don't know. Is there a NASCAR country? Is this it? I don't know. Todd say no. I don't know. It was just something I was thinking about as I was cruising. But I did like to see the players out there, and the players were down at and the things you learn too. Like who knows? Maybe I become like into NASCAR one day. Just like when I moved here, I was very open with this about the mullet toss. I literally thought. I promise, and I know this could sound embarrassing, but I didn't grow up here. But when I first heard about the mullet toss, I was like, how are people throwing like a mullet? I was like, is someone like chopping off their mullet and they're like throwing it? I didn't know it was a fish. Things you learn. And I saw Ryan Williams chucking it. I don't know. Does anybody know who won the mullet toss? It looked like a hell of a time, and I still haven't been to the Floribama, which I at least like to go check out. Keep your heads on a swivel. I'll be up in the Gadsden area Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm playing in Silver Lakes tournament, which should be utterly hard because that course is just ridiculous. So playing Mind Bender, Breaker, Backbreaker, and Backbreaker, I'll be playing those throughout the week or the weekend. But this is the hoodie that we'll be rocking. It is and again, and we'll do the pinwheel tomorrow. Cash at Bama YouTube, and then Bama_YouTube on Venmo. There's Miss Susan. Here's what to watch. Delvin Gully, right? Defensive back at Alabama A&M. He was here yesterday. And then one more time, Xavier Crowell, running back who reclassified 2026 out of Jackson, Alabama, no longer announcing on December 31st. Maybe that means an early commitment. We'll see how it goes. But finally got the internet back. It wasn't a huge deal. It felt, and I know, it got reinstalled at like 11, so I was like, I'll do a show at 12 just to get back on track. I also have my men's devotional channel. We're up to 102 subscribers now. So if you want to check it out, I'd appreciate it. I was trying to tighten up in that area of my life. So, you know, that's kind of the journey. But as news happens, I appreciate you guys always rocking with me. And as news happens, of course, I'm live and, you know, short form videos. I got a really active Facebook channel as well. If you want to check that out, I'll drop the Facebook link right now as well. All right, let's see what Alabama Renegade says. If you want, Kyle, there's a fancy restaurant called Bama Bucks. Huh. Never heard of it. No, this will be. So I've never been to Gadsden. Never. It's all. I was in, because Silver Lakes is south of it. I went to like Leeds, but I'll be actually staying up in Gadsden. So that's where I'll be. Tomorrow we'll spin the pinwheel. If you want to get in the hoodie for today, this is it. Venmo, Bama _ YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. Still open. And excited to check it out tomorrow. But we're back in action, and tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central Time right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys for watching my midday show, News as It Happens, right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Thank you very much for believing in the product, for rocking with me all the time. And I will catch you either tomorrow morning or as news happens or on the Facebook channel throughout the day. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on Tuesday, April 29th. Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Love you, fam, and I will catch you